Raffaele, and welcome to Only 5 Minutes. Raffaele, according to SolarPower Europe's latest report, the European Union installed 41.4 gigawatts of new solar capacity in 2022. What can we expect for 2023?
So first of all, thank you for inviting me to this interview. And with regards to our recently published market outlook, our expectations for 2023 is growth to take place further at actually a 29% annual growth rate, bringing total annual capacity in the EU to more than 53 gigawatts in a medium scenario. So this is an important milestone as we expect the 50 gigawatt milestone to be reached for the first time. So not only 2022 has been a very important year and a record-breaking year once more, but this record to be broken with much further growth happening also in the year to come.
Some countries came up as surprises in Europe's top 10. Poland in third place, Sweden making the gigawatt mark for the first time, and Italy gaining force again. What are the driving forces behind these markets?
Well, Poland, in fact, is not too much of a surprise since they've been on the European solar map for a couple of years now already. The main driver there for solar growth has been definitely the self-consumption segment, so the micro installation, as they're called, below 50 kilowatts peak. There has been a policy change from net metering to net billing, which is slightly less convenient, but still an important incentive scheme. This brought to a rush of installations since the system was discontinued at the end of March 2022. However, also in the remainder of the year, the exceptional situation in terms of energy prices that is taking place all across Europe has kept the attractiveness of this incentive scheme quite high. And in addition to the self-consumption system, also the utility scale segment is also growing quite considerably. When it comes to the other country you mentioned, Italy, there the main driver has been for the residential segment, which constitutes an important part of the total market, the super bonus 110%, which has been the main incentive for the self-consumption system, on top, of course, of the high electricity prices that were mentioned already. In addition to that, the government has been working on simplification procedures for administrative procedures, and that has also brought more confidence and bigger numbers when it comes to the larger installations. Italy remains a big country with lots of potential, so we expect this to grow much further as the regulatory framework improves. And finally, Sweden is the first time that reaches the gigawatt scale. Not so surprising that a Nordic country reaches this level, since also Denmark is within this group, also the Netherlands and Germany. So the thought that Nordic countries cannot host solar is actually a myth. Sweden is mostly driven by the residential segment that contributed with about half of the total capacity, driven by subsidies, so tax incentives and grants. We're also seeing the CNI segment growing, but also utility scale is gaining traction. And there has been throughout last year some announcements of several hundred megawatt parks under development. So interesting developments up there.
Some of the report's capacity estimations seem very optimistic. For example, Portugal at 2.5 gigawatts. How do you make these calculations?
Yes, so our report was published in December 2022. Therefore, the last quarter are based on estimates, based on the best knowledge at the time of publication. When it comes to Portugal, most of the capacity was driven from the utility scale segment and mostly deriving from the auctions that were awarded in 2019 and 2020. There was a deadline for the installation or completion of such projects by the end of 2022. And therefore, we anticipated that most developers would rush to complete this project by end of year. Therefore, even though not so much capacity had been installed in the first 3 quarters, we were quite confident that by the end of the year, the 2 gigawatts mark would be exceeded.
Thank you for your 5 minutes.
You're welcome. Thank you.